Lord. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for returning for this episode of Through the Realm of Light and Shadow. All of you, welcome to the game. When we last left off, you had crafted some new salves from herbs that you found following your fight with the stone trolls. Thankfully, using some of them, the Ethelus in particular, you're able to revive both Dala and Nebuchadnezzar. And as you set out once again, your guide Edrahel this time remembered a location within the northern boundary of the heart of the Mirkwood that was safe. It's a place that he had used to rest while journeying in this area in the past. So after journeying for over a week and barely clinging to your strength, you decided a bit of a respite was more than welcome. However, it was decided once you got there that Will would need to learn a bit about being an adventurer. It was time for him to learn what it meant to really fight. And so Nebuchadnezzar, you and Edrahel decided to enter into a glorious bout of, I'd say fisticuffs, but weapons kind of came out in the middle of it. The fight ended rather abruptly. First of all, I just want to remind everyone that Nebuchadnezzar, you attempted to throw Edrahel into the fire.
Attempted,
but failed.
But it did not happen.
It did not happen. However, what did happen is you succeeded in knocking Edrahel unconscious with a dwarven people's elbow. And not wanting to, nor being willing to hold back that last final hit, you did indeed knock Edrahel completely unconscious. He was stabilized with a medicine check, and with the last of your Ethelus salve, you were able to bring him back so that you wouldn't have to wait another 24 hours for him to wake up. The next morning, you awaken. As you prepare to set off for what should hopefully be your final day's journey towards the ruins that you set off for about a week and a half ago, Edrahel and Cyrell, you both notice around the same time that Eldakar's pack is lying in the same spot that it was where he went to bed near the fire last night. Eldakar himself is not there.
Cyrell goes and tries to look through the pack. As he's doing that, he shouts, "Has anyone seen Eldakar? What happened to our Dunedain friend?"
Breakfast? Huh?
I'm sorry, Haley. We will get breakfast soon. We're missing our friend.
What?
Has anyone seen him?
I haven't seen him. I was sleeping.
Can we roll an investigation check?
Yeah.
Look around, see if there's any footprints or something like that, or drag marks or blood or anything like that.
Report.
I got a 16 on my investigation.
Sure. You look around. If there were tracks, he definitely appears to be of the sort who can cover them rather well. You don't notice any disturbed dirt or anything around his pack. However, as you look around his pack, you do see a note. Do you open it?
Yep.
You take how much psychic damage?
I was about to say, I'm back. Cyrell still has nightmares. Cyrell just starts twitching.
You pick up the note and you see that it appears to be written, rather nice script, if a little hastily written, and it reads, "I could feel my pursuer getting close. I'm sorry for departing in the night. I will rejoin you soon, perhaps at these ruins you spoke of, perhaps later. I will not be far away, but I cannot risk leading him to my new friends. When it is safe, I will return. Perhaps once I have helped you, you can help me. Hastily, Eldakar."
And I read that all out loud.
That was a wonderful voice you used, Chad.
Boy.
I guess our mystery has been solved. Does anyone know about this guy who's chasing Eldakar?
No, I wanted to learn a little bit more, but didn't get the chance to ask him. So we'll have to wait. I trust the guy, so.
Well,
call-
if he survived by himself as long as he did, I'm sure he can find us again if he really wants to.
Very true. I call out, Will, please help pack Eldekar's belongings. How about you load them on the Flicker? And then after breakfast, I'm sure, Haley, we can maybe depart.
Sure, we're getting close, aren't we?
Yeah, hopefully by the end of the day you'll be there.
Thanks,
All
Andrew.
right. Let's get moving.
All right.
Wait,
Wasting any
breakfast.
time. Breakfast. All right, let's have breakfast then.
Okay.
What do you want for breakfast?
Well, I mean, we don't really have that much to choose from.
No, we don't.
Rations it is! Alright, so we eat, and I guess we get going, unless anyone else wanted to do something.
All right. You guys pack up your breakfast, close out the fire. Edgerhell, you lead them to the exit. With where you are now in the Mirkwood, none of you are going to be able to ride your horses. Those of you that have them, you will have to be walking alongside them. The forest is too dense at this point for any horseback, even at a slow pace. So it's only getting denser from here. Trackless and unconquered by the light, the heart of the Mirkwood is the rotten core of the forest. Here, the trees have huge gnarled trunks, and their twisted branches are heavy with strands of ivy that hang all the way down to the ground. Their roots are so tangled in some places that there's nowhere to find purchase with your foot. Many creatures have made their lair in this region. Edgerhell, you're familiar with many of them. This is the darkest part of the forest. Most spiders that you see in the Mirkwood come from the outer boundaries of the heart. Nothing that goes on two legs is welcome here. And even the bravest orcs do not venture this deep into the Mirkwood. And yet, you have a day's journey ahead of you to continue deeper into the Mirkwood. So let's start, first of all, Edgerhell, with a survival check. Remember, these have advantage.
All right.
Yay, getting a 12 on your invocation roll.
Yay. First roll of the game.
Come on, Edgerhell.
All right, survival, you said, right?
Yeah.
Daddy
all
needs
right.
a pair of shoes. Go, 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 go.
I've got
guess
some
it-
extra shoes in my pack. I don't wear shoes.
22.
Thank you, Haley.
22. Okay. Unfortunately, with a 22, you're not able. No, if 22 failed at level 2, that would just be
We might as well
wrong.
quit.
That'd be wrong. All right. So you exit this area of the safe location, being very careful to have everyone cover their tracks. You don't want to lead anyone back to this safe haven. You want to make sure that you preserve this spot as somewhere that you can hide if you need to, if you're ever to journey this far into the Mirkwood again. However, you are able to get yourself oriented. Anyone who doesn't have dark vision, you're going to need a torch at this point. It is midnight outside, even at noon. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't have dark vision, you need to have a torch. So also keep in mind, if you get into combat, if you're wielding a torch, you can't also use a bow and arrow. So you might have to plant the torch in the ground. So those are just things to keep in mind. Moving on. Edgerhell, you're able to start to guide the group towards the ruins from the location that you stopped in. It's going to be southeast pretty much consistently for the entire day. You start getting on that journey around mid-morning. Haley, you get hungry and you decide that it's time to stop and have a brief snack. And so you do, and while you're doing that, Cyrell, I need you to make a perception check for me.
All right. Can I get Will to assist?
Sure. How is Will going to assist you?
Will and I have this. We've trained before, so we kind of flank the party. So I'm kind of looking to the right. He's looking to the left-hand side.
You got like some hand signals and communication you'll do.
Yeah, some bird like. Caw-caw.
Very stealthy. I like it.
All right.
Practice went into that.
We got 23.
23. Okay. You don't see anything because the forest is so dense at this point, but you start to hear a faint hissing, like kind of sound.
I hold up my hand like this, realizing that half the group may not know what that means. And I'm like, shh, I hear something. Can I figure out like what area it's coming from?
Yeah, it's basically straight ahead from you guys, continuing on the path you were going to take, while Haley and anyone else who is interested in having their mid-morning snack is eating. You recognize that this sound is probably, you would locate the source of it in about the next 30 seconds of movement that direction.
I try to sort of whisper over, guys, I hear something. Edrahel, you have better senses. Do you sense anything?
Can I have a? Could I also have a perception check?
Yeah.
Just actually, could I move a little bit forward? I would like to use some of the night vision that I have since I have no need of torches, and I also have an advantage with the stealth check in the forest. I don't know if you would allow it, just to be able to.
Yep. No,
go in
definitely.
stealth.
Yeah. Make a stealth check with advantage, and then I'll let you know how close you get without dying.
Right.
2 natural ones.
No, but it was good. No, 10.
10 stealth.
10
Did you roll a
stealth,
2?
yeah. What?
Isn't your stealth really high?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, as far as you can tell, you're pretty stealthy right now. Not really being noticed. How close are you going to get? Just within visual range?
How far can Cyril see where I am at?
Cyril, do you have any kind of
I
dark
do
vision?
not have
I didn't think
dark
so.
vision, so I would have a torch.
You have a torch, so you can see about 30 feet ahead of you. Edrahel, you could probably get about 60 feet in front of Cyril, and he would be able to make out your outline.
60 feet, and I would still be able to see him, but he wouldn't still be able to see me, right?
Yeah, he could basically see a vague outline of you as the torch casts a little bit of dim light that far out. You would be able to see him just fine.
Is it possible for me to take out maybe an arrow and a sword? That would no, but that wouldn't make sense with the stealth. You know what? Before going, I tell Cyril maybe 2 different I don't know, like movements with a sword, so that the what is it like the
You want to like reflect the light from your
yes,
torch?
thank you. So that basically like a certain reflection is going to mean one thing, and the certain reflection is going to mean another. So for example, if I reflect 2 times towards him, that means that there's no danger. If I reflect once, then that means like just stop and be quiet. Like they're supposed to be quiet. Everybody's supposed to be quiet. But is that okay?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So
That's not just okay. That's a great idea.
So then I start moving. I go like 30 feet. With that, would that allow me to go farther away and still for him to see me?
I would say you could probably get about 100 feet away, but after that, the light from the torch is going to be too dim to create any kind of meaningful reflection in your sword.
All right, so I'm gonna go 50 feet forward to see if I can see something. If not, then I'll just go back and we'll keep moving.
Okay. Well, one moment here. So you go about 50 feet. You don't see anything. You can definitely hear that sound that Cyril pointed out. You don't see anything just yet, but you're getting a lot closer. And at this point, probably the only reason you can't see anything is not a lack of distance or vision, but just the sheer thickness of the trees in this area of the forest. If you were to continue your journey another 20 feet or so, there's a good chance you'll be very close to the sound and also probably be able to see it.
Okay. Who is having the snack right now? Who is eating? So I know Haley,
Is anyone else?
Chad, Dalla.
Haley,
It
poor
doesn't
Haley's
take
people.
that long.
All right. Well, I can't say anything right now. Yeah, sure. Let's go 20 feet forward.
You go 20 feet forward, and as you come upon just a line of these thick rotted trees, you squeeze in between two of them. There's enough room for maybe someone like 1.5 times your width or so, but you're able to kind of get between a couple of trees, and you notice in front of you there is a tower, an old stone-built solid tower. It's got this dark green ivy and moss climbing up the sides. The top of it is ringed in slits for archers to fire out of. There used to be some kind of door, probably, but the only remnants of that are a couple of 2x4s that are mostly rotted. Aside from that, the entrance at the ground level is completely open. From the distance you're at, about 50 feet away, you can't really see inside. There's no light emanating from it. There's no light emanating from any of the holes in its structure, and there are a few aside from the arrow slits. It looks like at some point this was some form of defense in battle, but you can't really make out much more from this distance. You see what you think might be some partial scarring or scorching to one section of the stone, but you're not able to really discern anything from this distance. The sound of that hissing like thing appears to be just on the other side of this tower.
Okay. Can I perceive if it's the sound of an animal or if it's the wind? If there is any kind of wind in the forest?
That's a great question. Make a survival check.
A survival check. Okay. All right. That would give me 19.
19. It is probably a beast, yes.
Okay.
It's a little too rhythmic for wind. You get the sense that this might be the inhaling and exhaling of something that as of yet has not noticed your presence.
All right, so I'm gonna make those signals that we talk about. So it's gonna be 5, which is gonna mean like let everybody know you come a little bit closer. Tell Chad and Dal that are gonna move a little bit forward so that it's a little bit of a line. But that way I have some backup to be able to surround the structure of the tower.
All right.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I get the message. Cyrell's over there counting. Gotcha. All right.
So, while this is going on, I'm gonna look at Dala. I'm gonna gesture for her to pull out her warhammer, and I'm just gonna start to march forward. I don't really care about noise or stealth.
As Chad's going by me, I'm just gonna
I guess
grab
it's
a
going
shoulder
that down.
gently
But
and
this
be like,
around, of course.
wait, say that again, Chad.
I said, I'm gonna march forward. This could be the thing that we're after in here. No one ever said that we're here to meet a man. It could be a beast. And how I see it, either it gets the drop on us, or we get the drop on it.
Cyrell
I like
says,
the way you're thinking.
Yeah, and I take my arm away from like your grip, Cyrell, and I start to march ahead.
And I'm on the other side.
So Nebuchadnezzar, are you going past Cyrell, and Cyrell, are you attempting to stop him?
as he is past me, I say, I agree. Let's get the drop on him, but we have to be quiet. And then I say to Will, Will, stay with the horses, make sure they're protected.
All right.
And I'm gonna make sure that I'm in sync with Dala as we're going up. We're gonna go up as a team to make almost like this wall with our warhammers in a sense.
Since I'm mostly range, I'll fall behind. Like I'll walk, but obviously stealthily, but behind.
Okay.
As we go up, I am going to sheath my sword and I have the torch in my right hand, my shield in my left hand, and I'm gonna put the torch just barely above the shield, so it's just casting a little bit of light just before me, so I can be ready to discard the torch if need be.
Okay.
Do I see?
Alright.
Sorry, before
Couldn't
that.
find anything in the book about hobbits having dark vision.
Yeah, I don't believe they do.
Pretty sure they don't. So
Yep.
would his light be enough since I'm behind it instead of the part that's below?
His light will not allow you to see what's in front of him, but you can follow the light. Yeah.
I'll follow the light.
That's
Yep.
a great idea.
Shadow the darkness and follow the light.
Hey!
That's a wrap, guys. Campaign over.
That was great. That was great, guys.
That was really quick.
All for that moment. It was all for that.
All
One
right.
thing that I don't remember if you told me, but am I on a side that can go in the tower, or the entrance to the tower is on the other side?
The entrance to the tower is on your side.
On my side.
Yes.
Okay. Then since I see them start coming, then can I signal, for example, Haley, which I know that has the bow and arrow, to go inside the tower instead? You said that there were some openings for battle.
Yeah.
for entrance.
I mean, you can tell her that when she gets up to you, unless you want to like yell.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so Edrahel is up near the front. Then we got Nev and Dala, and then Cyrell, and then we have Haley bringing up the rear. Okay. So everyone except for Edrahel, make a stealth check for me. Remember, Dala, you have disadvantage with your armor.
Natural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
15.
Nap, would
With
you?
disadvantage. Wow.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Okay.
And now I'm stomping. I'm crushing every bridge. P5 on style. You know what I'm saying? With my nat
Well,
one.
at least Cyrell got a natural 20, so they effectively cancel each other out. 2 successes, 2 failures in those 2 rolls, so that's fun. Nebuchadnezzar, Cyrell, you have a feeling. You just have a feeling as he marches in front of you that he's not going to be quiet. He has proven time and time again to be every bit the loud dwarf you would expect. And as he marches forward, you notice that he is not noticing a big root that is sticking up out of the ground. And in front of the root looks like a whole mess of nettles and branches and dried out bramble. And he is about to trip and fall into that, which itself would make a lot of noise between his armor and all of the dried rotten wood that's going to snap. But on top of that, the nettles piercing him would probably cause him to himself make a bit of noise. You're able to, at the last moment, pull him back before he falls into that, what would have inevitably have been a cacophonous mess. Nebuchadnezzar, just at the brink, you start to fall, and you see that pile of spikes coming for your face, and you're like bracing yourself that this is going to hurt. And then all of a sudden you go, you get yanked back, thanks to Cyrell there.
Cyrell says, "Let me go first."
And Cyrell steps up ahead of Nebuchadnezzar and Dala, no longer able to save Nebuchadnezzar if he trips. I'm kidding. So Cyrell, you take the lead. You guys catch up to where Edrahel is. Edrahel, you pass on the note to Haley. Haley, he recommends you go up into the tower where those slots are for the bow and arrow. Would you like to do that? It's up to you.
Is it like a tower where it's just like a shooting post, or is it like an actual building?
Like a what? What was the first thing you said?
Is it just a stairwell up to a spot where someone can shoot from?
It's like a
Like a
watchtower
guard
out in the middle of the forest. So
Okay,
it's imagine like a column
Mhm.
that's about 30 feet in diameter. You don't know what the inside looks like, but it's just a straight column about 40 or 50 feet tall. And at the top, there's slits for bows, like small arrow slits. That's near the top, and then the actual top of the tower itself has sort of that stereotypical sort of thing where it goes like this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like every old castle wall looks like.
Who is our lookout? Cyrell, right?
Yes, I guess. Yes.
Okay. So I think Cyrell should come with me.
Cyril says, I'm not the best with range, so
I mean, you don't have to stay up there. It's just if you have to look for
What
stuff.
if I go up, since I also have a better shooting range and I'm better with a bow and arrow, just in case. That way I can also look, having the night vision, I'm able to look also and let you guys know if I see anything else approaching.
Yeah, I just don't think it'd be a good idea if I went up there by myself. I mean, I can. It's not my first time in the woods, but it's my first time in the Mirkwood. So
All right.
Cyril agrees with Edril. Edril, yes, why don't you go up with Haley? You two are lookouts. Please signal us if we're about to step into trouble. And he looks at the dwarf.
So,
All right. Edril,
I'm
Haley.
gonna
Oh, no, go ahead. If there's more, go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna wait for them to do a report, but while they're going up there, I am gonna look at Dala and Cyril, and I'm gonna say, me and Dala, things go bad, then we'll go around the right side of the tower, draw his attention, and you go around the flank, Cyril.
Let's go.
But let's wait till we know what's out there. But I will say, if this is what we're after, remember we were looking for a town. Maybe the man who got us captured got some wrong information. It was really this tower, and this could be it, boys and gals. Want to be inclusive here, if I can help it.
Most forward-thinking that Nebuchadnezzar has been this entire campaign. All right, Edril and Haley, you guys enter the tower. And do you bring any kind of a torch, or Edril, are you kind of guiding Haley along?
I was thinking of guiding her.
Okay. So you enter the tower. Edril, you are going to have to lead Haley up the stairs. She won't really be able to see much of anything. Your eyes do adjust to the darkness, kind of, but the darkness here in the Mirkwood is almost a magical darkness in that where your eyes would eventually adjust, like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can kind of see your way around the room. You're not able to make out the outlines of objects as easily as you normally could, Haley. But Edril, you're able to see that as you step inside, there appears to be a few broken skeletons there inside the base of the tower. They have been dead for quite a while. Give me an investigation check. Or a medicine check. I'll allow either one.
Let's see which one is better for me. Just to make sure.
That's why you have a choice.
22.
22. Which one is it?
Investigation.
Investigation. You're not able to ascertain the cause of death, but you can tell that they appear to have died a long time ago, years ago. Typically that's how long it takes for a body to decay this long. There is a spiral staircase that leads up around the perimeter of the wall and goes all the way to the top. You don't actually see a bunch of floors. What you see are these concentric rings that move up the tower, and there appear to be 3 levels. The center of the tower, straight up to the top, is completely open until you get to the very top, and there is some sort of solid stone roof. But there are these wooden planked rings about at the 15, 30, and 45-foot mark. And so you're able to slowly start climbing up those. And as you do, you notice that walking is getting a little bit difficult. You're having to, every step that you take, you're having to really move to get your foot up off of the ground. And for the first time, you kind of look down and inspect the ground, and you realize that even though it's stone, it's completely covered in this white webbing. which you realize is a spider web of some kind. But it's not just a web that, is meant to catch a fly or something, but it's completely covering the ground like moss over stone. And so you just go shh, shh, shh. Every time that you pull your foot off of the stone, that's the sound that you hear. And you get up to the first concentric ring, and you see a display case, which has been shattered, and there's glass filtering inside. But inside there are these beautiful ornate wooden hooks that kind of jut out. They're these thick pieces of wood. Nothing's on them, but you walk over and you kind of look down inside of the display case, and you actually notice a small piece of metal. Do you pick it up and look at it? It's glinting a little bit. You pick it up? You pick it up, and...
Carefully, though. I pick it up carefully.
I'm glad that I have conditioned you all already. You pick it up carefully, and you inspect it, and it doesn't take long for you to recognize it as a small strip of mithril chainmail. It's been broken off of something, so whatever broke it had the ability to pierce chainmail, specifically mithril. But you do notice that this is about a 4-inch by 1-inch section of mithril. Nebuchadnezzar. You don't know Nebuchadnezzar. So you do recognize that there is some mithril here. And that does give you pause, because that does say something about dwarves to you. And as you look around the display case a little bit more, you do notice there's a beautiful iron helmet. There's also parts of the wooden display case that have broken, and other assortment of stuff. Nothing really of value, but that little strip of mithril does stand out. Do you put it back? Do you take it?
I show it to Haley. Of course, I don't know if she's saying the same. Well, she's not saying because I'm guiding her.
It's not pitch black, but I can feel it.
Yeah, you can make it out, and you can feel it, and you can see what he's describing, but you don't see the color and everything else.
Okay.
Since it's just a small piece, can I put it in my bag and keep it?
From DM perspective, yes, but if you're asking Edrahel.
Oh, yes.
Both.
Okay.
Okay. This would be great for my tails.
All right.
All right. So you have a small 3 to 4 inch strip of mithril chain armor now in your bag. So just note that on your inventory list there, Haley.
Sorry, are there any openings that we can see out of the tower, or is it only
at this level? Not yet. Aside from the display case, you do see some bookshelves. Most of the shelves are barren at this point. What few books are there look to be overcome with mold and mildew. There's a bit of a dank, musty smell in the tower. They appear to have been abandoned some time ago, potentially decades ago. You actually go to kind of finger one of the books and give it a nudge, and your hand kind of pushes and sinks into the book about a 1/2 inch, as it's just kind of mush at this point. So you make your way again. Every time you take your foot off of the web-covered stone, you climb up to the second floor, which is about 30 feet up. About a minute and a half has passed everyone outside as you wait. You have yet to see either of them either wave a hand out of one of the windows at the top or get to the roof of the tower, but you also haven't heard any cries for help or anything loud. As you guys get... Go ahead.
Have I stopped hearing the hiss?
No, you still hear that rhythmic movement
on the other side of the
wall. Yep.
Okay.
As you get to the second floor of the tower, there are still no slits on this level. There is, however, a slight breeze of air. I need both of you to make an investigation check.